Okay, let's say you want a captured screw that traverses a slot. Not all that hard to do. Take a look at how I'm going to prepare this slot. I'm going to prepare it exactly like I prepared a tapped hole, only after I'm done tapping the hole, I'm going to slot it. I'm going to slot it to the minor diameter of the threads, and that is what's going to keep the screw in the slot. One end of the slot will be threaded, and it will be almost undetectable. Let's get it. Change over to a 1/4 inch cutter. That is a 261 diameter hole. I'm going to take a 1/4 inch cutter and make a 261 slot, 1 inch long. For the following demonstrations, I did create 2 identical pockets here. The tap drill that I used for this threaded hole here is exactly the same size, or is exactly the same drill that I used for the end of the pocket. It's going to be a slot, not a pocket. It's going to be 1 inch long center to center, 260 wide. I'll nibble at it, then I'll take an up and back pass, and we're good to go. Rock and roll. Okay, real time about 4 minutes from the beginning of the dialogue. 2 identical slots, and I'm going to show you the benefit of using a washer versus not using a washer. And I'm probably going to destroy one of these slots, which is why I made 2. Hey guys, Joel Pye here, Advanced Innovations, Austin, Texas. Welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to talk about captured screws. And that's not a captured screw, but that's what it would look like if you captured one. All right, all kidding aside, a captured screw is a screw that will pass through a piece of material like this one and continue to spin. How does that happen, you say? Well, it's really not rocket science. You just need to modify the screw. And there's a couple of different ways to modify the screws. If you're familiar with this technique, then you probably might learn something new about the other types of screws I'm going to show you. You can see that this screw has been relieved. That diameter, the length of that undercut, is wider than this plate is, and that diameter that it's turned down to is smaller than the tap drill. So guess what? Once it screws all the way in, it'll still spin, and it won't drop back out. So that's really handy for assemblies, really handy for door panels that swing. You've probably seen these used before, wondered how they did it. You could, if you wanted to, put a C-clip on this side, an E-clip, some type of clip, but then whatever you're pulling down on this side is going to register on the clip and not on the part. Option number 1, straight up relieved screw. Let's say you want to put a washer on that. Can you do it? Sure you can do it. Why not? If you want to use a washer on a captured screw, you're going to have to add the length of that undercut to that washer, to that screw. I'll put it that way. Let's see if I can find one that'll work. There we go. That's a special washer. Once you put the washer on the screw, naturally these washers are sized for a nominal size thread. But when it falls into this area, you've got all of this happiness going on, all of this movement. And that just doesn't look all that great when you cinch it down and you find your happy place. And the washer's that far off center. I don't know if that bothers you, but that would bother me. How do you overcome that? Well, think ahead. You've got to prep the screw a little bit differently. You get a situation like that, you've got to allow for it by putting a shoulder on the screw. You can see how this undercut does not go all the way to the head. This one does. And we're going to put that one on the side for a second. Put this on. Put this back on. Let's see what happens. Line it up before you lock it down, and there you go. Still freewheeling. And a whole lot more concentric on the screw itself. That's good. Next problem in line. Boss tells you, hey, I took all those captured screws out of the bin and the washers kept falling off. All right, now what? Oh, hey, Mr. Rocket Scientist, let's just use a washer with that size hole. But now you can't get the washer on here because this hole is bigger than that thread. But you can just barely see it. This washer is actually threaded. So now it's minimal play on the washer. It is a captured washer on the screw, and the screw is captured on the plate. But that's the wrong screw, of course. You gotta have to make the screw with a longer undercut, which I did. This screw here. You have to forgive me, guys. It's the end of a long day here. That screw goes with that washer. Get out of here. The longer undercut. This undercut is now as wide as the plate, plus the thickness of the washer, and when it goes on. Here you go. Still spins freely. Nice and concentric presentation on this side. Captured, not going anywhere. When the screw comes out, the washer will stay with the screw. That's a good thing. Life is good. Everybody's happy. There you go. Now, as far as slots are concerned, captured screws and slots are not voodoo magic. The only thing you do is you thread one end of the slot, and you can see by looking at it that the slot itself continues right through to the root diameter of the thread. You insert your screw from one end of the slot, and there you have it. You have a captured screw in a slot. And if this is a finer thread, you won't be able to see the threads on the end sometimes, so the slot's a little bit wider and it wipes out the thread, and you can only see it if you look at the very end of the slot, and it's only going to be present on one end of the slot. So there you go. What do I not like about using screws like this in slots? Well, I think it's pretty clear. You only have engagement on this side of the screw and on that side of the screw. And what happens when you torque it down? Oh, I don't know. Let's find out. I'm going to put a screw on the back and I'm going to torque it down, and this is not going to go well. Tight, and here we go. Watch this. It's really on there. Okay, you're ultimately going to end up with a bunch of these little guys, these little moon-shaped indents. And the more you use this, the tighter it gets, the more this material right here is going to displace into that slot. So that's a good time to put the washer on here. So select one of the other options. And the other option that I like very much so is that option with the threaded washer. Let's use the other slot. There you go, clean one. Nice and smooth, nice and clean, nice and concentric. And you can see how this would be handy if this were an adjustment bracket that you want to move. Try to establish a center for something. This is a great way to do that. Thread the hole, make the slot, prep the screw, thread the washer. I know it looks like an awful lot of work for such a simple part, but when you're done, you only have to do it one time and all ends well. Try not to use a captured screw in a slot unless you put a washer on it, or you're going to end up with this kind of damage here. And after a while, it's just going to get unsightly. You can use this forever, and you're never going to leave a footprint on the top of that. Okay, guys, putting an undercut on a cap screw is not a big deal. I'm holding it on the head, but prior to doing this, I held it on the threads and turned the diameter, just dusted it, so you can still see the imprints from the original manufacturer so that it would spin true. I know that I got to go through a 261 wide piece of material, and this is an 095 wide parting tool. I'm going to touch off on the inside of the head and make the appropriate relief cuts in order to get down to where I need to be. Where do you need to be? Well, you need to be at least smaller than the diameter of the tap drill that you're going to use to put the mating threads on the plate or feature on the part. So this particular thread calls for a 261 diameter drill. I'm going to go for about a 255, 261 deep. 255 diameter, 261 deep. That's a couple of shifts of the 095 tool. Do it. All right, this part should now go comfortably into that tapped hole all the way through and spin as soon as it bottoms out. Don't worry about the pitch on these threads, guys. Like I said, it doesn't have to clean up. If it bothers you, then clean it up, but that's just going to give you more wiggle room when the screw is installed. That is screw option number 1, straight up undercut, a little bit thicker than the plate, a little wider than the thickness of the plate, and the diameter is smaller than the pilot drill used for the thread. Screw option number 1. Screw option number 2 coming up. Going to start basically the same way, but I'm going to touch the parting tool off on this surface of the screw, and I'm going to move out a specified amount, and then I'm going to start the undercut. And we're going to show you why that is in a minute. Let's do it. Okay, screw option number 2, also below the tap drill that you will use for the threads, and it's a little bit wider with the shoulder. Option 2. Undercut option number 3, a little bit longer, smaller diameter than the tap drill, and wide enough to clear the plate plus. And that plus is going to be real important here in a second. Hey guys, here's a little shop gem for you. If you've ever tried to bore out a washer or do anything to the inside of a washer, the face of a washer, you know that getting it in a collet is a pain in the neck. Well, here's the secret. Stick that washer to a magnet, and then stick that magnet to the collet. Bada bing. Bada bing. Now you're in. That's a shop gem for you. It doesn't get any easier than that. Keep that one in mind. Get yourself a couple of these disc magnets and stick them to the machine. Comes in real handy in getting the part out as well. It doesn't fall into the chip tray. Boom, there it is. Okay, let's get on with it. Love that trick. Once you have the washer in the collet, it's easy. Let's run a tap through it. Let's see how badly this ends. Super easy way to retrieve that washer. Just open the collet. There you go. Just to prove my point on the distortion that can cause without a washer, watch the free movement of both of these. This one here is stuck on the distortion in the channel caused by the head without the screw. Head without the washer. And if you're going to put that kind of work in, you don't want to see that kind of damage occur after the fact. So go the extra mile. Use a washer. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you very much for coming along. Thank you very much to everyone that has sent in text messages, phone calls, emails, donations for the shop move. Place is getting hollowed out pretty quick and should be out of here in the next 5 weeks. And where we're going, we have no idea. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you're well, happy, and safe. All the above. I am Joe Pye at Advanced Innovations in Austin, Texas. I'm out.